Hello and welcome back to Journey into Pandora. Last season, I felt we did pretty well. We had 4 runs and overall we had some great scores. I think there was just one episode which was a little off, but the other 3 runs, fantastic. So this season, you know, I'm going to start off with some other runs. I'll try and get yellow, but if I can't get yellow, I'll maybe try and draft a tricolor deck if I get given some good options. Because we were talking about tricolor decks in the previous episodes, and it's still something I'd really like to try out. But of course, unless the cards fall into place to build that kind of archetype, it's not going to work out. So we're going to have to see what comes up in the draft, and we'll go from there. So let's get into the games, let's get into the draft, and see how it goes. Alright guys, let's get on with the draft. No green for a change. Pretty good, we got blue, red, and yellow. Now, I would love to make a Gemshell Tortoise deck. I might even try tricolor with this build. So I think Flame Burst is probably the best choice here. Warriorhack's pretty good, but I'm happy to go down red for this draft since red did so well for me last time. So let's take the Flame Burst to start things off. Now red-blue is looking pretty enticing right now. We've got the Water Elemental. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take some red-blue. We haven't done red-blue yet, so I'd be interested to see how it performs. Big fan of Gabriel Warden. I really like this card. So I'm going to take the Gabriel Warden. And I've been given another. I don't think I want 2 just yet. I'd rather take the Punishment. Punishment, fantastic card in Pandora. Nice piece of removal. So let's get that. Not a great selection really. It looks like Humbling Visions is going to be my pick here. Stick with the green, the blue-red. Like I said, I hope when we get to draft the Gemshell Tortoise, that would be really, really cool. Actually, a lot of good selections here now. Falcon Dive, you know, removal. Silent Horsemaster, give us a bit of mobility. Shifting Tides, mobility and draw. But Underground Brigand is Faeria advantage. I like combat creatures with Faeria gain. Very useful. You usually get value out of them, especially if they're not removed. And in Pandora, removal isn't that reliable. So Underground Brigand is going to be my choice here. I think it's pretty good. And there we have it. That's what I wanted, guys. Alright, that's an auto pick. Feels good. Now, Law Thief, not interested. Exalted Ogre's not bad. 5 Faeria for a 5/5. Can become a 7/7. Ogre Battler. Big boy Ogre Battler. Now we all know how good Ogre Father is. This is very close to an Ogre Father. I'm actually going to take the Ogre Battler. I want to try it out. Master Swordsman is actually pretty decent, but not really in the strategy we're going for. I think this is going to gear towards more of a control style. But also Kingsguard could benefit from a Gift of Steel along with our Brigand. So Kingsguard kind of feels like the best choice here. Ranger Danger. I like me an Outland Ranger. Just a really solid card. Bloodsong's not bad as well, you know, a bit of a bargain. But Outland Ranger is going to be my choice. Just a really solid card. Eulani's Medallion. Is there anything I'd want to Eulani at this point? Probably just the Ogre. Flameburst Ruby is just a 1-cost Firestorm to everything or 3 damage from hand. We already have a Flameburst. This could be a good finisher. So yeah, let's take the Flameburst Ruby here. Aurora's Creation. This is a really fun card. I don't see anything being better than that, to be honest. So Aurora's Creation. I guess I could have a lot of fun with that. Water Elemental, solid, can help us get towards the creation. No, we do need 6 lands anyway. And speaking of 6 lands, Ice Rock Behemoth, so we are going hard down the control line now. Another Water Elemental, Ancient Herald, actually has a very strong benefit in this. So we already have 2 Water Elementals, so I think Ancient Herald's a little better. Bit of cost reduction on our high life creatures. Nice synergy there. All a bit meh, unfortunately. I think Spellwell's probably the best out of them. I mean, Bloodsong's not too bad. Herald's not too bad either, but I think I'm just going to go for Spellwell there. Oh, give him a Frogify, but another Gemshell. I want the Gemshell. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to take it. Now, Ninja Toad is a fantastic proc for Gemshell, but Grappling Hook could be very useful as well, so it's between these two. I think Grappling Hook's a little more spicy, so Grappling Hook's going to be my pick there. Forbidden Library. Now, that is a card. You know what? I don't know where I... Let me take a look at something a moment, guys. Let me take a look at my tier list. I'm just gonna ask Yakbot for the tier list. Thank you very much, Yakbot. Where have I put Forbidden Library? I've never had this in a draft before. So it is a rare. Quite low down. Now, the reason I think this is so low is because one, it's card draw, which can be a bit iffy. So yeah, I guess the Forbidden Library isn't the best. I didn't mean to pick that. I meant to click back onto the screen. Well, looks like I got a Sanctuary now. Another creation, Aurora's Trick, Hellfire. Hellfire could be pretty good, but I do like creation. Let's take another creation. We're going really hard on control with this build. Axe Grinder, just a turn 1 collector, really solid. Jeweled Magpie. I think Jeweled Magpie's... I'm not sure how close we're going to be to use this, but these two don't really benefit us that much. So it's going to have to be the Magpie here. Oh, another Ice Rock Behemoth. Or a Dreamkeeper. Now, we already have an Ice Rock Behemoth. I've never played this card in Pandora, so I'm going to take the Dreamkeeper because it could be a lot of fun. Enchant could be handy. Bit of Cycle. Powers up a few guys. Fire Elemental could be a little bit better, though. Bit of Land Ramp. Warlord could be pretty strong, but we already have quite a high curve, so I'm going to go for the Fire Elemental for Land Ramp. Curious Biomancer. That kind of works in this deck as well. So I can draw Gemshell off Curious Biomancer. Now where's Curious Biomancer rated? It is a rare. Oh, it's not a card actually, it's not a card I've rated yet. Unless it's just... No, it's in blue. I was looking the wrong tab. So I've rated this below average. Maybe just another Grappling Hook then, but do I want to draw more than one? It's hard to say. Zero Wisp, where have I put that? Pretty low. Gabrian Enchantress. Pretty average there. Okay, I think I'm going to actually try the Curious Biomancer because it can draw me these cards. So this is a test. We're going to test this card out. See how it does. Just get a Meteor as well. Why not? It looks like Triton Chef, turn 1 collector, pretty solid. Leaping Fugu is a pretty good card. Queen Assassin, all these 4 cards are really good. How many combat creatures do we have right now? I believe it's only 2, so is it worth getting a Gift of Steel? Gift of Steel is still 3 damage. You know, I can still trade up against things with Gift of Steel. I could use it as aggression. But Leaping Fugu could be pretty good. I'm not sure. Like, I've got a lot of land ramp, so leaving Fugu is not completely out of the question. Now, if I could draft if I had drafted a Sky Whale, I probably would go for this. But I feel that Gift of Steel is probably a little bit better. It's really good proc on the Gemshell Tortoise as well, because it allows our smaller guys to kill stuff very cheap, but also allows us to be quite aggressive. Now I could build more synergy, but I'm going to go for Firebomb here. I'd rather just take removal. Another Leaping Fugu. Double Windfall could be pretty good, but I don't think Windfall's that good. In all honesty, we already have a Warden. Storm Spawn doesn't really help us. It's hard to say. Maybe another Warden. Yeah, we'll take the Warden. Another Gift of Steel. Do we want more than one? I think Herald might just be better here. Lots of Herald synergy in this deck already. We keep getting the same cards. Ninja Toad. That's a pretty good card to come off the Gemshell Tortoise, and Axe Grinder to finish things off. So I think that works out pretty fine. And we get Doom Scythe as well for hard removal. So, alright guys, this deck looks pretty cool. This was a sad mistake from me. It could work out. I doubt it, but I'm pretty sad we drafted this. But overall, I feel the deck looks pretty solid. We could have got some better treasures as a first and second, but we'll see if we can make some use out of them. Let's get into our first match. I'm looking forward to playing this deck. Alright guys, into the first game. I'm going to be playing this as a control style deck, because we have quite an expensive deck when it comes to the overall Faeria cost. But we have some pretty spicy and heavy hitting cards coming in the late game. I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out. Now we don't have access to the Water Elemental straight away. We're actually going to build to the side. So we're going to build up and around like a control deck. We're not going to build from here, even though it benefits Water Elemental. And hello to you too. Now this is a card I'm unsure about, but I guess we'll see how good it is if it draws us those Gemshell Tortoises. This might be Rush. Yep, it's going to be Rush. Okay. Probably revenge for last season. But that's fine, you know, we have some pretty good options going forward. So I want to get a mountain down, so I think I do this. And then I collect off this well and I firebomb the first thing that comes down. I'll go up to 6 Faeria. It's a shame I won't be able to play Curious Biomancer and the firebomb. We'll see what our opponent gets up to. Okay, gonna curve more off to this way. Cypher's Fodder. Or Axe Grinder, potentially. Fire Elemental, okay. So really pushing in there into a Grimguard. That is a problem. Much harder for us to collect Faeria. Okay, let's see what Spell Wheel gives us. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So I guess we could still Firebomb. It still works out. Gets rid of our problem here. And these two still trade, so my opponent needs 1 damage. Chances of that's pretty slim, especially on 3 Faeria. There's not a lot of Faeria to work with. Now I can go for a lake here next turn and get that Triton Diver to start double collecting. That's going to be really helpful. Now I could play the... I guess I could play the Trainer first, because then this would get the power up. I don't believe I have any of the jumpers. Oh, and actually, no, I have Ninja Toads. So maybe I just keep this for the Ninja Toad, actually. But then my Ninja Toad becomes a 5/2. It's pretty good. So yeah, we can collect. You know what, maybe I Biomancer. I might want a mountain here, actually, as a defensive land. So I can at least get Ogre Barbarians and stuff down here in the future. And then just play the slower diver, which jumps to here instead on the follow-up. Unless I +1 and set up 2 collectors. That's also a thing I could consider. Let's clear this first, and then let's play the Curious Biomancer. Oh, Oops. That's me not knowing how Curious Biomancer works. It's based on every creature, isn't it? I just thought it drew cards. Oopsie daisy. Well, it happens. Mistakes are made. Yeah. Not much I can say about that. Oh, the Blazing Salamander. Doesn't kill the Biomancer at least. This is one benefit to all this nonsense. I will get... Do I even... I don't know. What am I doing? I probably should just get into double collection at this point. And just hope. I messed up pretty bad with the Biomancer. I guess, like, ultimately, I missed out on a card draw. Which could have been useful. Could have been like a Gemshell Tortoise. Could have been a Dreamkeeper, actually. Dreamkeeper would have been really nice. I'm gonna kill the Biomancer. Now we get to double collect, I hope. And then I can play the Herald, which is going to be really useful. Starting to smell a Scourge Flame. I don't know about you guys. And speaking of Dreamkeeper, there is one right there. But I feel the Herald is probably just a little bit better at this point, just because it's a bigger body. And with the Campfire, I can clear this clean. I guess Gift of Steel is going to be my biggest problem going forward. Goes for the damage instead. So I'm going to be taken down to 9 after I clear this, which is a big deal. But I can double collect Campfire Dreamkeeper, lock this in. You know, this is going to survive anyway. And then maybe I draw like a Gemshell Tortoise, maybe an Ice Rock Behemoth. Maybe that collects? No, maybe I was thinking maybe it sets back and collects and plays something that costs 4. I'm gonna +1 instead, and then pass. Okay. We actually could open Pandora with this now. So let's do this first. Then let's do this. Oh. Let's try and open Pandora. Okay. See, this was my problem with this treasure in the draft. What does it really do for me? It's a good late game card, I suppose, but it's not that helpful. Now I have Ice Rock Creation. That could be pretty handy. I'm just hoping my opponent's treasures are a bit lackluster. I don't want like a hammer to show up here. Oh man. I'm just dead. I could just be dead to hammer now. Hit face, hammer me. No healing in this deck, so burn is a problem. Okay. I might just use the Magpie's removal now. Go here. Take my last mountain. Magpie. The worst, the saddest Magpie in all of Faeria, I think. And then this has so much coverage. Magda's Rose would be awful. Like, what would I do? I guess I could Creation, but it's not that good. Because I don't think I'll be able to play it. So I'm hoping there's no Magda Rose here. So Creation, this will cost me 3. I'm going up to 6, I believe, next turn. So I'm not going to be able to Creation play it straight away. I'm going to have to take a turn. You know, the magpie with the gift of steel could be pretty good. Just checking if see if it's still snowing, guys. It's been snowing all day here, which is why I've had some natural light in here, just so I could keep an eye on the snow. It's gonna be so that's 2 magpies, but the ice rock behemoth is currently keeping them in check. So I might just use one as a way to ping off the shield. I'm just hoping there's no nightmare. Nightmare would be pretty bad for me. Okay. Interesting. You know what? I am gonna try something. We are going to creation my magpie, of his magpie. It was my magpie. I'm gonna move on to here, and then we're gonna use our own magpie, see what we get. We can't sit around defending forever, especially against red yellow. We need to be a bit more proactive. I can give that a gift of steel next turn. Punishment, magpie. Oh, is that Scourge Flame? That could just be lethal of Scourge Flame now. Yeah. That is going to be lethal. A very unfortunate game 1. They're getting rushed down. I don't know if the Curious Biomancer was much of a... I think the mistake more was playing into Salamander. So yeah, unfortunate there. I've learned from the Curious Biomancer. That's not a card I use very often. Let's get into another match. Alrighty guys, another game. Hopefully we'll do a little better this time. It's a pretty good hand to keep. Oh, I could get an early Sanctuary going. It's not bad actually. We're going to be collecting off our wells. So this isn't rush now. I feel like we'll do a little bit better going forward. I really want this deck to do well. I think the draft is really cool. Let's try not to make any mistakes this time. We'll see how it goes. So what's going to be the first play from our opponent? Explore. No, it's rush again. Feels bad. So Sanctuary not as enticing as before. I think I'd take Mountain instead and just go for the Brigand. So another rush deck. We played against red-yellow rush last time. Let's see what type of rush this is. As long as it's not green, I think I'll be okay. Green could be a big problem for me. Okay. Good old Slaughtering Shadow. We will take care of that, get some Faeria back. We can go for a Water Elemental then. Now let's take something... I don't know, I guess like if we go for Water Elemental we can take this land. And then we can set up a Sanctuary. Because this could collect next turn, depending on how land's developed. I wish I didn't draft this card. That was such a mistake when I misclicked. Really sad about that. Gonna be a Charger and an Emissary, so I'm hoping I pick up a Campfire here. I do not. I'm going to clear this. I'm just going to +1 into Herald. See if we can, let's at least try and get one Faeria value out of this. If I just cracked it now, it was a waste of playing the card. So, try to get at least a Faeria before I break it. Okay, 2 Faeria for 2 Faeria. I'm fine with that. That's absolutely fine. And just a trade. That's great. I'm still collecting. I'll take it. Let's take a draw. We don't have a creature to play this turn, so I'm hoping we find one. And then we pass. So a little unfortunate there. Not able to find a creature. Hoping our opponent has the same problem. Nope, it's going to be a monk. Interesting. So I feel that I want to move this here. Because I do want to gear up for a grappling hook if I can. And then we'll take protection. I guess we'll take it on the axe grinder actually. And then we'll pass. So a little unfortunate that the monk is going to live for a turn. Maybe I should have geared up a grappling hook preemptively. We are getting close to Pandora. Ah, that Jeweled Magpie is really bad. I kind of felt how bad it was in the previous game. Like, Flame Burst Ruby could have been fine. It would have actually not worked out because of the Iona's Mirror. Oh wow, we have a good creation here now. Or we could just play another Warden. I'm down for that. I am going to take double neutral here. Because I want to set up for a Magpie. Let's move here. Just to stop any kind of Flash Salmons or Wind Soldiers coming down. And then this way we can always move back and collect if Pandora doesn't open. But it's open now. Play a bit into Bottled Lightning, I suppose, but see, I knew this was gonna happen. This is why I built my lands. I just anticipated it. So I was preemptive this time. I learned from my last game that I don't want this card to be absolutely useless. A Walking Fortress. Okay, now that's not a card you see very often. Right, let's take a mountain. See what we get from the Magpie. Oh, it's not quite there, is it? Unfortunately. So I'm just going to move onto the desert. And I think I just pass there. Wheel of Chaos can still be useful. Choking Sands. I'm actually fine with that. We got the Wheel of Chaos. It's pretty good. Like this is a great card to have. It's hard removal. It has land destruction. Not that relevant. I could destroy these two and then maybe rebuild. But it also has healing as well. So I have a lot of like choice when it comes to what I decide to do here. Now I'm just gonna creation, to be honest. I'm gonna play an aggressive lake. Because I want to start pushing damage. Wow, these Wardens have been fantastic. Really happy with how they've performed. Another treasure. Doomscythe. Now that's a treasure I want to see. Just kill a guy. He's dead and get a 6-1 out of it. It feels good. So what's my opponent going to be up to for 9 Faeria? Could Doomsday here? Doomsday is an option. What treasure could be good here? It's hard to say. Bald Lightning's pretty good, I guess. And the one thing is as well, we still have another creation, so I can create more threats. I could make an axe grinder. I could make another warden. It's going to be a wheel of chaos. Kill my 4/6. It's fair enough. And it's going to be a Zealous Crusader. So I kind of want to keep my creation. Oh, Humbling Visions. So I could just go for the Banquet here and just take the clean clear. That's going to cost me 5. I could maybe Water Elemental aggressively. Yeah. Alright, so I could have actually gone for the grappling hook. Maybe I moved my 4/6 to the center. Dark Crystal. Well, it's out of the way now at least. I don't have to deal with that later. I still have the creation if I need it. Flash Salmon. Gonna bot me. Demon Wrangler. Scavenger. Okay. +1. So if it is a Demon Wrangler... Oh, right. So I'm probably just going to Flame Burst Ruby. Unless I wield a 4/3 hit. I don't really see much else other than the Ruby. Ruby gives me a bit of Faeria to work with next turn. Because then now next turn I have like a decent amount of Faeria to build stuff like an Ogre Battler. Maybe go to Kingsguard. I kind of want to be ahead in Faeria if I can. Okay. I can kill that with the Wheel of Chaos. Ooh, hello. And I have the grappling hook as well. Fantastic. So, yeah. Just kill that. Go +1 and pass. Now, it was only going to knock off my shield, I guess, but Nightmare push 4 damage is something I didn't want to see. So I'm happy to remove that. I can even creation this now and play another one before I start playing aggressively. Just to make sure I've locked down my defense. Although I do have Doom Scythe. So I could just Scythe any aggressive creature that comes down, then Grappling Hook, and then Punch, and then go into creation next turn. Or on the following turn. We'll see what happens first, because I have a strong reactive plays. I have strong proactive plays. But I guess it is going to come down to what my opponent gets up to. Hopefully not a Magda's Rose. It's going to be a Soul Drain. Okay. Into an Assassin. This is where Grappling Hook's pretty good, I guess. Yeah, let's take the Grappling Hook. Lethal with this. This is not going to kill me. No way. I mean, if I want to be extra safe, I guess I can Ninja Toad it, but Ninja Toad currently gives me lethal. So maybe... Do I be extra safe and play the Kingsguard? I don't think so. This could spark a prayer into all sorts of stuff, but I'm just not convinced I'm gonna die. I think I just take +1 and pass. Okay, Nightmare. Push the 1 damage. Oh, Manta Rider's kind of sad. Didn't even push 1 damage that turn. So Ninja Toad into Kingsguard works out pretty nice here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Again, I don't really want to use my Doom Scythe unless I have to. Just trying to keep a Faeria advantage over my opponent. While I'm still packing this Doom Scythe, I can take care of anything that's too big of a problem for me. My opponent keeps drawing, I keep gaining Faeria. Wind Soldier. Well, I'm going to draw a few cards now. Which is not necessarily a bad thing for me at this point. The old Demon Wing. Oh, this is a tough one. Because I am a little afraid of this just getting removed, but I think it's my best out. I don't really want to Doom Scythe this. Maybe I have to. But then again, if my opponent drops anything I can't deal with, like, I don't have Frogifiers, so... I don't know, maybe I Doom Scythe... I don't know, I think Doom Scythe Outland Ranger Campfire is probably better here. It just means I don't get to play this next turn, which I really want to. Yeah, I have to play safe here. And not play as greedy. And then just hope Humbling Visions is enough to deal with any problems that show up. Because like Bottled Lightning's just lethal in that situation. If I force the 2/2 to go into the 6/1, it gives me a bit of breathing room. But it's very dependent on what my opponent does next. Famine? Am I going to get famined? Plague Bearer. Okay. So I am going to be able to play Gemshell Tortoise. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. Yeah, let's take care of that. Ooh, and now I'm going to overdraw, but I'm fine with that. That's removal. I will take any 0-cost removal to burn a card. I've pretty much drawn most of my best stuff now. I have another Gemshell. I mean, I'm going to burn Dreamkeeper, but I don't think I really care so much. I mean, Dreamkeeper could actually be pretty decent here. Follower for 2 damage. What's this? Doomgate! It's very ambitious. I can appreciate the ambition. So I can punish this. Oh, I burnt the card I misplayed with last game. That's absolutely fine. So I can punish this, clear this, play a Herald aggressively. I'm close to lethal just because my opponent is close to fatigue. Also, the more the Doom Gates you use, the more cards are going to be drawn to bring him closer to fatigue even more. Could even Fagoro instead. Maybe get a Crystal Dragon. Yeah, that's actually a little better, I think. No, I won't be able to Crystal Dragon. I won't have enough Faeria. So kill this. Kill this. +1 pass. Takes another draw, down to 1 card. So I'm not touching Doomgate. You can keep your Doomgate. Now you should know I have another punish in hand. Oh man, so close to lethal. Wait, if I hit Humbling Visions, Flame Burst, Ninja Toad, no, that's not gonna work. I can Ninja Toad, Creation, no, it's not gonna work either. Five. How do I get rid of this? How do I move this? Hit. Ninja Toad. No, I don't think there is lethal here. It's close. It's very close. So Flame Burst is lethal next turn. Yeah, I don't think there is a way my opponent can win from here. Like, maybe Bottled Hammer, I guess? We could have done that ages ago, so that's not a win condition. Four cards in hand, like, I don't know what would save my opponent here. The clock is ticking. Will my opponent have an answer? Will it be from Doomgate? I doubt it very much. He would actually kill himself before Doomgate would open. And it looks like it is just going to be the old timeout on the turn. And we're just going to use the old Ancient Herald to finish off my opponent. And we take a win with this deck. Very happy with that. I do want a Flame Burst just in case we play again later, and then he doesn't know I have a Flame Burst available, so good run there. We're 1-1, I'm a little sad about that first loss, but I feel we can make up for it. Let's get into another game. Alright guys, another game. Axe Grinder, fantastic start there, gonna get an early collector, that's what we like to see. Hopefully it's not rushed this time. Now I'd like to play against a different archetype for our third game. We'll kick off with the Axe Grinder, get that early collection going. we'll go from there. Now, we have Warden, which was really good in our previous game. I was very impressed with how this performed. Could be a water elemental start. That's fine. We'll just take the collection and pass. So we can use the Warden to protection itself in order to defend against this water elemental. If we wanted to play around Frogify, we could just, you know, protection this instead. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Alternatively, I could go on Fire Elemental and just let them trade. But I'd rather keep as many creatures alive as possible. So let's play around the Frogify. We'll go for the protection on the Axe Grinder instead. And the way this plays around Frogify is because if I was protection my 4/6, if a Frogify came down, I lose my 4/6. And I still trade with the Water Elemental if I use my Axe Grinder to finish it off. Doing it this way, I play around the Frogify. If a Frogify does come down, my 4/6 will survive in exchange with the Water Elemental. This may cause the Water Elemental to jump back. That tells me that my opponent doesn't have an answer for this setup currently. Or my opponent may be thinking of the best way to handle this. But we have a good follow-up because we can ramp up our lands quite quickly with this Fire Elemental, you know, make sure we get that Gemshell Tortoise online as quickly as possible, because the last game we had to wait till Pandora opens and we can't really use a Faeria advantage once Pandora's opened unless we save Faeria for an additional turn. It's going to be Ancient Herald. Absolutely fine there. Might just use the Ninja Toad here in combination with the Axe Grinder to clear this out. I could just leave them there. Just Fire Elemental up this way. My opponent's building quite aggressively towards me. I think that's fine. So yeah, I'll take a lake. And I'll take a Fire Elemental. And I'll move this into double collection. And I'll even push this forward a little bit. And then we have the Ninja Toad to double collect from this spot and kill the Water Elemental if it jumps back. We also have the Fire Elemental as a backup collector if need be. So if this somehow gets all removed, you know, Fire Elemental's still going to do some work. Going to collect some Faeria for us. Should be pretty good. So Shifting Tide, going to move that away. Maybe take an aggressive land here. So makes the Ninja Toad a little sad, unfortunately. Because we won't collect off our opponent's well now. But, you know, I think I'm happy to maybe just take my last land, leave this as it is, and then go for the Gemshell next turn. Just keep my Faeria. So yeah, let's block things off. Let's take a lake. Although we could take a mountain here, actually, because it's a good defensive land for the Ogre Battler. I mean, I could Ninja Toad this to protect my investment. I just really want to play Gemshell next turn. Yeah, so I don't think I mind if this dies. As long as I get rid of these two in exchanges, I think I'm fine with that. Like, Ground Shaker obviously is a big problem here, but my opponent has needed to draft the Ground Shaker. This also gives me an opportunity to double neutral in the future, and then make an aggressive lake or mountain if I want to push damage. So, gives me a few options from this spot. It depends if my opponent decides to build around me and try and land block me. Best case scenario for me right now is these two clear this. These two have to go into this in order to get rid of it. collects. Goes into Snowstorm Lancer. Thinking about hitting this. Hits it. Oh, cheeky grappling hook. I like it. Now I can grappling hook and finish this off. But I'd just rather play Gemshell Tortoise at this point. Let's Gemshell first. Pandora. 2 Kingsguard, okay. Happy to take +1, I'm happy to move back. Just out of range of this water elemental. And the Kingsguards could be quite useful actually. Just as like a stable creature that can taunt up, make sure we don't get too much pressure applied. You know, taunt could be very useful there. Not the greatest hit, you know, I want Flame Bursts or Ninja Toads. Maybe even more Gemshell Tortoises or Ancient Heralds, some like bulkier creatures, but I don't think Kingsguard's that bad. A Triton Sanctuary would have been the worst. I would have been really upset if I hit Triton Sanctuary. So double neutral to go to the other side, which tells me that there is no real answer to this right now. Unless it's a Flame Burst. This is just like double collect Flame Burst and clear. Because double neutral means there's no Firestorm at least. Going with Firebomb, okay. It's a Triton Chef. So unfortunately I can't grappling hook either of these, and I do know there is a Triton Banquet in the hand. Now I could debate my opponent a little bit here. I could not collect off this well to grappling hook this if double neutrals come down, which I think I'm going to do. So yeah, I'll play this. I'll +1. I think I'll just pass there. Oh, I should have drawn. Okay, so my opponent doesn't need a double neutral now. That's a little sad. But I still going to have more Faeria than my opponent going into the next turn. I'm going to have 9 to work with. Whereas now my opponent only has the 6. Another card draw is just going to benefit me more because Pandora's open. Oh, he's going into it. The grappling hook. Feels good. It's going to be a Doom Scythe. Oh, snap. I have one of them too. Alright. First things first, we can grappling hook this, takes us down to 6, clear this. Ninja Toad to clear the Slaughtering Shadow, and then back into another Kingsguard. That looks pretty good to me. We can even move this across aggressively. Nice little use of grappling hook there. My debate worked out. And then amazing as a response. Now the next goal is to get an aggressive lands near my opponent. And I have 2 ways of doing. Well, actually, I have 3 ways of doing this. I can move my Kingsguard to take a land here. I can move my Fire Elemental to take a land here. I can double neutral up. So there's a few ways I can do it. I'm probably going to Doom Scythe this for tempo. If I can clear... Yeah, so I can like move here. Clear this first because then I can see if I draw like a Firebomb or something. Wow, okay. That is a very interesting pickup. Well, like I said, I think I Doom Scythe for tempo. Because this represents 6 damage going to my opponent's orb next turn. So my opponent becomes a defender. And I have a lot of really good options going into my next few turns. I have like Underground Brigand into Gift of Steel. I have Jeweled Magpie to produce more treasures for me. Flame Burst as a form of lethal, or even a way to No, as a way to, you know, clear one of my opponent's threats. So it's gonna, oh no. Well, it's gonna be the magpie start things off for sure. Yeah. Ooh, okay. It's a spicy one. I think I'm happy to pass here. I guess I could get the boss down, the brigand down, just to keep some stuff out of my hand. Really, I don't want to be punished by the Kingsguard and overdraw before I've drawn all my treasures. Also, with the brigand, I can set up a gift of steel on it next turn. Goes for a draw. What's this gonna be? It's gonna be a Wave Crash Colossus. Into a Frogify. Okay. So this is where I think I use the Flame Burst. Because I want this to generate Faeria for me. So yeah, let's use the Flame Burst. I can take a draw off this. Flame Burst. Move up. Gift of Steel. Gain more Faeria. And I can +1 pass here. I could even Water Elemental if I want. Don't really want to though. I'd rather keep my Faeria so I can play a big Ogre Battler next turn or something like that. I pick up Flame Burst Ruby, so I have essentially another Flame Burst in hand now that I can use if the going gets tough. Like I can just kill all these with the Ruby. Take another draw. Push damage, play an Ogre Battler. Could even just go into the Void Guardian now. Try and close the game out. I don't think I lose if I do that. I mean, do I need to? I don't think so. Let's keep my deck. I am winning. There's no point in... I mean, I think this would just seal the deal, but... I'm a little afraid of playing this card. I've never really used it. Jumps back. +1. Oh, it would have been lethal. Draw 2. So I'll just play Creation on this. I'm playing it safe, guys. You may be thinking, why do you just play the Void Guardian for the win there? But I don't know, like, there's something just doesn't feel safe about playing that card. Clear. +1. Into Hellfire. And my Ogre Battler lives. Good game. That is going to be the win. And a 2-1, so a shaky start to this run, but I feel the deck's pretty solid. And we get to play Gemshell Tortoises, and Ice Rock Behemoths, and all that cool stuff. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to how this deck progresses in our journey to Pandora, but that is going to be it for this part. So be sure to tune into the next part as it comes out. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like or hit subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, until next time guys, take care and enjoy Pandora.